Just like I said in bikini, though, okay? Look at, this is what, 2 years ago, I think. Look at, though, different types of bodies, totally different types of bodies, yet they're all the first call out at the Olympia. And like I said, from a competitor standpoint, again, it's not saying we're looking for a certain structure. We're looking, like I said, for your physique and on your structure, okay? Okay? Again, little separation, that's it. Okay. Now, what don't you see here? There's no striations back there. So if it's good enough for an Olympia or an Arnold athlete, you don't need to have it at the regional show. I just find that I'm seeing more and more competitors are super lean. And to be honest with you, if you saw the Olympia, if you looked at Angelica and you looked at Jennifer Ronzetti, both awesome athletes, okay? Angelica was actually a little bit softer. But when Ronzetti walked out, you could see some separation in her legs. And just like we said, it was just a little too much for bikini. Oh. So again, for figure, again, obviously, you want as much as you can do, to get your little V-taper, to get your waist down. But again, it's what's going to make you an elite athlete is that foundation underneath. I don't care where you go, if you have full muscle bellies, are always going to win over conditioning. And again, obviously you have to be a certain condition, but you have to have that foundation of the muscle underneath. If you look at Phil Heath, it's that full muscle bellies. If you look at Jeremy, it's full muscle bellies. You look at Julianne Millen-Carter when we get to women's physique, it's full muscle bellies. Separation is really different from being lean. Being lean, you can have really thin skin. I can see your muscles. I can see your vascularity, but you don't have that separation between the muscles. That's what you want to strive for. How you get it, that I can't answer. I just know that's what you want from a judging standpoint. But most of the trainers will tell me the more you pose, the better your separation is going to get. So it goes all back to, it's going to serve two purposes. Not only is it going to help you present your physique better, it's also going to help make your physique actually look better, okay? So now with figure, no striations, full muscle bellies, that's what we're looking for. Who's figure in here? Okay. Any questions, seriously, anything about figure? Nobody has any questions. Go ahead.
I've seen females toot and I've seen females lean back. So which one is preferred?
Okay, Camilla, do you mind coming up and posing? All I'm going to do is, I don't want to move anything. I'm taking this sign and putting it in front of my, there we go. Yeah, let's do the mandatories. Everybody kind of does this leaning thing. You want to tilt a little bit forward. No leaning, okay? I know the judges are down, okay? And again, to be honest with you, if you're figure, I would go listen to Steve Weinberger's quarter turns. You just want the quarter turns for classic physique because you want to do the same thing that the guys do. We're looking for the same type of muscle groups, the same fullness and stuff, just at a smaller degree, okay? So, again, she's leaning a little bit forward. Actually, I think you could still stand up just a little bit, okay? And if you notice, her shoulders are just tilted a little bit forward. Pull them all the way back. Do me a favor. If you pull them back, okay? Now, just tilt them a little bit forward. Her lats actually come out more, okay? If you just tilt them a little bit forward like that, her lats will come out more. What you want to do, and again, it's really hard because again, it's getting your body to recognize you want your lats to come out first, your arms to hang at the side. That's really what you want to do. You don't want to bring the arms out thinking that's going to make you look wider. It's not. And the thing is, if you come up, go back to the front. If you come up too high, come on, no, lift the arms out to the side. You flatten the heads of your delts. And again, these are all things that people go, oh yeah, well that just is easy. But I will tell you, if you go look on NBC News and you click on photos, you will see so many. Also too, just real quick, getting back to what Ashley said about how fast you pose, okay? If you go to the show and you look at photos and you don't like one photo that you see because you're never in a pose, you went too fast. You want in your mind to think that you want that photographer to get you into a set pose so that you can actually, or somebody else can actually evaluate your physique. Because so many times I'll look through like 15 photos and there's not one photo where the athlete that was actually set in a pose, and it's because they were moving too fast. The photographer never could catch them in a set pose. So just think about that sometimes, that the photographer is actually taking your photo. Give him that little couple seconds. Okay, so now when you do quarter turn to the right, okay, and the thing is, you never relax. Like, you're already flexed when you're doing your quarter. You're not relaxing in between. Just like she did. She's pushing this shoulder in because, again, we do want to see some fullness up here, okay? You keep yourself twisted so that we see this width, and it tapers down to here. Some athletes will put their arm right here. Some put it back.
Steve hates it when it's here. I can just tell you that right now.
Oh, okay.
He hates it because I used to do it here from one of my posing coaches, and he was like, "Stop covering that."
Yeah.
Everybody started doing that.
Yeah, because what we want to see, the glute, because we're looking for fullness. We're looking for the roundness of the glute, for the development of your hamstring, and then also the front of your quad. Okay, and quarter turn to the right. Now, obviously, she moves her hair, but she still does the pose the same way. It's still arching the back, pushing back your glutes, okay? And the same thing. Again, now if you listen to Steve, you just want to like lean back just a tad, because the more, now again, not the more, I shouldn't say that. If you lean back just a little bit, and again, it's that fine line, you'll see more of your depth in the middle. Okay, so if you just, again, just tilt back a tiny bit, and again, the only way you're going to know where that line is for you is by doing it and getting photos along the way to see, so that you know when you get on stage, this is how I have to feel to know that I'm leaning back just enough and not too much. Okay. And it's the same thing. It's trying to give that illusion of a really, nice taper, fullness in the chest. Again, we're just looking for roundness everywhere. And come back to the front. And again, Camilla's got good quads. For girls that, again, same thing like I said earlier, you can turn your toes out just a tiny bit, would give you just a little more width in that quad, okay, if your legs are a little bit underdeveloped.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, any tips that you?
I would just suggest exactly what's already been said. Take your time. I feel like, just like Sandy was saying earlier, the shows are growing so much. It's okay. Can you all hear? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. It's really, we don't know exactly what's going to happen until the show is happening a lot of times, if there's more people that show up. So prepare yourself when you're practicing. If you're going to be all in a line immediately, prepare yourself for that and make sure that you stand out. So know what you're going to be doing, what's your model pose when you're just waiting around. I don't like to see, and I don't think the judges like to see, just standing all in one pose like that when everyone is waiting.
Yeah. Well, and what else too, when you're along, because like if the classes is big, we divide the classes up and we'll put, maybe if there's 16, we'll put 8 on one side, 8 on the other, and then we'll call out the comparisons in the middle. Sometimes, and again, I get this from athletes, that they'll say, well, I was in the middle, but the judges weren't looking at me. Well, as a judge, I might have these 3 or 4 athletes placed already on my paper, but maybe the group that they just sent back, I'm still looking at these 2 or 3, or I'm also looking ahead to see which ones we need to call out for that next call out. So when you're along the sides, you still want to have like an idea of how you want to set yourself that gives, that shows your physique in its best light. And again, you can move a little, you can change position a little bit, because sometimes you could be in that lineup along the side for a while. But you don't want to fidget back there. You don't want to just relax and kind of watch the show. Because you could still, but athletes do. And there's numerous pictures people will get with them watching the show. But you know what I mean? You want to be set in some kind of a pose that's going to show you in your best light.
Right. Just always know they're looking for shape. I always tell my clients the same thing. We're looking for the S curve, and always, the minute that you're stepping on stage, and honestly when you're off stage, you are being watched. You're being watched. So presentation is always the best for you. So just know that, like, stand tall, be proud. You've worked really hard to get to where you are, and do your best. Like, have fun with it. I feel like it turns into this. Obviously, we're competing, so we can be very competitive. But like, one of the best things I loved about, and how many years I've stayed in this sport, and just love the camaraderie and just bodybuilding in general, is we're here to rise each other up. So like, have fun with it and compliment each other and just have a fun spirit. And I think that that's the best thing that you can bring to your presence on stage as well. So I really think that's about it. Unless any of you guys have any questions.
Me too. So when you are lined up like that, right? Say there's like 6 or 7 of us figure girls up there. The females at the end, do you want them to angle themselves?
Yeah, and you know what? And sometimes I'll say to the athletes I'll say, like whatever number, like 2 and 8, just angle yourself in a little bit. Yes, absolutely.
Number is always shown too, just always. There's times when people will stand on the side like this, and that's just not how you're supposed to stand, so don't do it.
And then for when we go through our individuals, is SAS okay if you figure?
Well,
Yeah, it's just, whatever. No, absolutely. Whatever fits your personality, absolutely. But the thing is, you don't want,
relax.
but you don't want to lose the precious time with showing your physique from what I want to see from a judging standpoint. You know what I mean? Yeah, but absolutely. Personality, as long as it fits your body and you feel comfortable with it, absolutely.
No, Sandy, what she means is she's got a lot of sass when she gets upstairs.
The main thing is you just don't want to be distracting. That's what I'll say.
And you know what else too, and this is this is for all the divisions, but another thing too is, and sometimes I'll say to athletes, because our Masters is growing obviously by leaps and bounds, and I will tell you, the men at the Masters Nationals, the quality even in 50s and 60s and upwards was always great. I will tell you, the women this year blew it away. I had 60-year-old women in figure, and I had a 23-year-old judge say to me, "Are you sure Gary checked her driver's license, Sandy?" I said, "Oh God, I hope so." But the quality was amazing this year at the Masters. But I will tell sometimes athletes that I'll say, 38, 39, 42, whatever it is, days, I'll say, you want to do a master show. Because in the master, and I say this to my young judges, you're going to see more muscle in the Masters because the athletes have been training longer. Everybody's going to have it. Okay? So you will see a little bit more muscle in the Masters, whether it's bikini, figure, whatever. Again, when you turn pro, though, and go to the Open, it's going to be too much. But in the Masters division, you'll do much better because most of the other athletes have all been training for a lot of, for many years. So again, you'll see a little bit more muscle maturity, and you'll see a little bit more conditioning than you see in the Open.
Does any figure competitors that are here right now want some hands-on, like, questions answered about posing while you're here? No? Oh. Oh yeah. Sorry, my mouth was full.
I feel like with that side pose, just because you do see so much.
Yeah, but you don't want, No, but you don't want to be that far out. Because to be honest with you, again, it's going to make your body look really thin. You know what I mean? You're not accomplishing what you want. Yep.
So you still want to see, each aspect, right? So if you're here, it's going to throw everything off. So just try to stay as close to your body as you can. You'll hear them, even the judges sometimes will be like, pull your hands in, and keep close to the body, and people are still just not hearing. So just keep it close. I always kind of remind people just to brisk your leg a little, and then pull your lats out, and you're pretty much right where you.
And there were a lot of people too yesterday, I'm just thinking this, that raise their hand that they're competing for the first time. Also too, as dumb as this sounds, know your number. Because everybody gets, well, seriously, you do though, you get, you might have done multiple shows, so you've had different numbers, just like if you stay in hotels, you go to different room numbers. But you're first of all, you're low carb, you're excited, you're nervous, your stress level's out the roof. I've done it at a pro show. I've called out a number like 5 times, and finally I just say, Mary J, because sometimes the judge, we're going to ask you to switch tomorrow on stage. So they'll have somebody on stage to help you. Just raise your hand so that person knows which of the two competitors that they need to help, to switch. So yeah, just kind of know your number, because sometimes you people do forget. Okay. Can you hit those lights again for me, David?